Hey everybody. I am really starting to get into this new school year and teaching, and for a lot of you who know me, you know I thrive on organization. I love everything to be organized, and I used to have a great system, but now I'm doing virtual learning and I need new systems because this is a new thing. So I started to create and get in and start looking at stuff I usually have and how I can transfer that to virtual learning. And then once we go back face to face, I can still use it. It's on my drive. So it can still go with me the whole year, no matter what I'm going through. So actually, the first thing I want to look at is just real fast and really quick is I used to always have like a check sheet every week that told me like, yes, I made copies for this, or yes, I got my materials ready for this. And this year, right now, we're uploading a lot of lessons and assignments to our LMS. And I'm like, did I assign that? Did I schedule that? And I just wanted a way to keep up with to make sure like everything I have to do, I'm assigning for the week. So I created my own digital weekly checklist, and it has a table of contents page. So I can click on whatever week I'm on very quickly to get there. So if I want to go to week 9, I just click on week 9, bam, I'm there. Here's my weekly checklist. In this cell right here, I just put what the week is, and I can go through. So this is kind of what I'm looking at right now, and I put some stuff in there. Of course, I can change, I can adjust it every week, but I just quickly made things that I want to make sure that I have uploaded into my LMS and the little check boxes. So I know, did I upload that for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just so my mind can track what I need to do and what I still need to be accomplished to be completely prepared for the week ahead. Because I believe one of the ways that teachers can be more successful with time management is to really set a goal of having everything prepared for the next week done by a certain day, the previous week, or even 2 weeks in advance. I like to work 2 weeks in advance so that you can do things like enjoy your weekend or enjoy your evenings because you're not stressed out. Everything you need is already there. So I have this great checklist to let me do that. If you go to page 1, just like with anything else, any of the wording that you change on here, if you change reading, math, the subject matters, it's going to change through the whole document, make it easy for you. If you're changing phonics because you teach upper grades, it's going to change through the whole document for you. So all that will change for you. There's even spots for notes if you need to make notes for the week. And then, of course, no matter what page you're on, you can always go back to your home page to just quickly navigate through that. So that's the first thing that I came up with or did, because I was sitting here today like, have I done everything that I need to do? What else do I have to add? So I was like, I need a way to organize this. And so I came up with that. So I'm going to put the link to purchase that down below in the description of the video. The next thing I made is this week I am starting to do my beginning of the year pre-assessments, and reading is part of that. And once again, I used to have a system, but this year I need to adjust, do things online. And I love for my students to track their progress, and I like to see my class as a whole and where we are to help me with my planning and my instruction. So as soon as you type a student name in here, it's going to auto-populate to that sheet. So you see that 1 is typed in here. And if you go to your single student sheet, 1 is going to be right here. So whatever the student's name is, if you type in Mary, that 1 is going to change to Mary, and so on and so forth. So you don't have to go type it into each page. You can just put your roster in one time. You're good to go. So now we have these single pages. So I have the sight words from my district that they have for each 6 weeks. You can put in whatever you want. Once again, if you change the sight word here on page 1, it's going to change on all the subsequent pages. So you don't have to change it for every student. You just have to change it one time as long as you're on tab number 1. It will auto-populate for you and do that for you. So I can go through with my student, I can point to the words, I can check the ones that they know. And what's really cool about this that I like, I'll show you this in a minute. I'm just going to say they know 3. At the bottom, it totals it for me 3 that they know for the first 6 weeks. So that way I can really know exactly where they are and what I need to focus on with each student. And then I used to let my students have a graph, and they would color in their graph to track their progress for their reading level. And I'm virtual this year, so I can't do that. And even when we go face to face, there might be some restrictions. So I wanted a way for my students to be able to see their progress and have a little bit of fun in their learning while they're progressing. So on my reading level tracker, I like to put where they should be at the end of the year, like where they should be, the goal. And so I put that in yellow, like, oh, we got to reach for that. Let's try to get there the best that we can to give them a motivation and an expectation. So then they have the date. So whatever date I do my running record on, I just put that in, and then whatever it is, say my student is on a level C, I ask them, hey, what color do you want to use for your bar graph? And they tell me green. I'm going to put green in there with the date. And I'm going to say, okay, we're going to come back in a certain amount of weeks or whatever, and we're going to check this again. So down here, I'd put the same date. I'd ask them, well, what's your goal? What level do you want to be on the next time we meet? Okay, well, how are you going to get to your goal? And they might tell me, I'm going to read a lot or practice my reading with my family, whatever it is, because I really like for my students to set goals and have those in mind. And when I meet with them privately on one-on-ones, we can go over those goals. So all of this would be done one-on-one with a student via Zoom with me sharing my screen so they can set goals and they can decide how they want to reach and try for those goals. So say we come back the next time, I'm going to put in the date, and my student is now on a level E, and this time they say they want blue. There you have it. They can see their progress. Oh my gosh, what's the difference? The difference is 2. You've grown 2 levels. And this also helps with some math concepts too. So I really like using this, and then they go set another goal. I can always go back to my class master sheet right there. And as you can see, oh look, the first 6 weeks, student 1, whoever that is, they knew 3 of their sight words, and you can check throughout and their sight words and keep updating it, but you'll have a whole class view on your class master to see exactly where your class is at for each of those 6 weeks. And then I always like to track my class as a whole just to make sure my instruction is where it needs to be and make sure I'm always on my game and trying to take my kids to the next level. So I can say, oh, okay, the first 6 weeks, and use green as my code for the first 6 weeks. So I can just really see the colors right away. Where are all my kids at? And then the next time I do all my kids or test, I can say, okay, they're blue. I can see, are they growing? I can see, is my class as a whole stagnant? Because that can tell me something about my teaching practices so that I can do better. So I made these 2 tools, and I'll put the link for this one also down here in the description on this video. So if you would love to use these for your class, you can go ahead and grab them as well.